Oh, yeah, it's the next in the long series of screenshot videos about at home horse player Ability X ratings. And this day is Friday, the 5th of July at Gulfstream Park. And I wanted to just do this little short video fairly quickly instead of being long winded and drug out. I wanted to do this to point out again the deja vu of horse racing, which frequently becomes quite apparent when you have a format of past performance that will actually reveal it to you, or reveal it to you much better, such as at home horse player Ability X ratings, which is a number, a numerical rating for the ability of the horse to run the race today. And yeah, as we see here in the first race, number 3 wins, who is one of the morning line top 2 favorites anyway, but also the lowest Ability X rating, and that that's one of several that wins today. And the low rating is generally indicative of the better ability to run the race today, uh, with some differences according to the distance of the race. But this is easily picked up on also uh, by anyone using Ability X ratings for their past performance format for making better betting decisions. And of course, there is one place where Ability X ratings is far better at foretelling results or predicting results of races based on what has won at this particular track at this particular distance in the past, and that can be the very recent past, such as the early races in comparison to the later races. The next couple of races, perhaps, and for anyone, even without a lot of experience with Ability X ratings, at Gulfstream Park on Friday, they may have noticed that the fifth race, or sixth race here, yeah, at 5 furlongs on the dirt, uh, the simple pick, the Ability X rating simple pick, which is the highest early speed horse with the lowest Ability X rating at that high early speed, the simple pick wins that race and is also the 1-to-1 morning line favorite. So where that is predictive for later races on even this very same afternoon, and the future in general at Gulfstream Park during the summer meeting, is that if we looked to the eighth race before that race goes off, we might look for any horses in the eighth race that are similar to this number 1 in the ability to run, since the eighth race is at the very same 5 furlongs on the dirt distance, and generally same conditions uh, at Gulfstream Park in July as far as class level is concerned. Everyday racing, average, claiming level, and all of that kind of stuff. But we might take a look at considering, hey, this very high, 120 points over the par, and 4 points over the par on early speed. That's what won the race easily at even money. So if we looked for something to see if there is something similar in the eighth race, we might be able to take a look at the higher ratings in this race, which are number 4 at 50 to 1, and number 3 at 20 to 1 morning line, and maybe even number 7 at 5 to 1 morning line. And we might be able to, taking a look at the post parade and warm ups before the race, we might be able to see that, hey, number 3 has a lot of similarity, really, to this number 1 that just won 2 races back, even money. And number 3 is on the board like at 56 to 1. So maybe if the number 3 looks good out there on the track in the post parade and warming up, number 3 might be a horse that someone might want to bet on that basis, that perhaps the 6th race has signaled what kind of horse can win the 8th race. And number 3 does win the race, pays 115.20 to win, and is on top of a 50-cent pick 3 that starts with the even money favorite, the very same even money favorite from the 6th race. And that 50-cent pick 3 pays 262.85. And in between that, we had a 7.5 furlong turf race that's on the grass. And maybe if we were wanting to get some insight, is the usual word people use for this. If we wanted to get some insight into that 7th race, we might be able to just go back to the 4th race that very same day, just 3 races previous, where we had observed that number 6, the Ability X Ratings Key Horse, won that race, but with an Ability X run rating just 6 points higher than the par, and exactly the same early speed. And we might take note of that, and we might look for something similar. If we took the idea that perhaps this result is foretelling or indicative or predictive of what may happen in the near future, we might take a look at the 7th race and notice that it is the same distance, same surface, same par, which is the average winner's run rating and early speed. And we might notice that, let me see, there's one horse here, number 5, who is close to that par and only 2 points less than the number 6 from the 4th race. And then, of course, if we wanted to look at something a little closer to that early speed par, we might notice that there are 2 horses here, number 4 and number 6. One is at higher early speed in the last race, and one is a little lower early speed in the last race. But if we took the 181 run number of number 6 as some sort of indication that perhaps little bit higher number might provide just a little bit more energy in the stretch and maybe win the race over these faster two here. And that number five might have an edge on number one with that same thinking at 8-1 in the morning line. And if number five looked good out there on the track before the race, hey, we might decide to bet the number five, even in that thinking, with that thinking that perhaps the fourth race is foretelling as far as the results of the seventh race. And there we go. Number five wins the race, pays $18. And of course, if we wanted to venture $2 on, or even 50 cents on that pick three, we may have thought, well, I like this high number and high early speed of the even money favorite here, and I like number five in the seventh race because it's very close to the same run rating that won the fourth race. And then I believe, I think number three is the most similar in the eighth race to this even money favorite that is likely to win the sixth race. So I'd go ahead and do 50 cents on a 153 pick three. So that's something that anyone might decide to do based on previous results and previous Ability X ratings, and with the idea that they actually might predict a winner in a later race. And very similar here in the second race, a mile and 16th on the grass, with this par and early speed as a par, this run number and early speed, composite par of 185, and it's won by number three, whose composite rating is 163, one of two with that same composite rating. Number nine is second, the Ability X rating ski horse, just 2 points lower in run rating, and a couple of points higher in early speed. But anyway, we might take note of that second race and think here when the ninth race rolls in, the last race of the day, it is 1/16 of a mile shorter, but it is also on the grass and has the same par with that second race. But it features only one horse really that's close to that same run rating that won the second race, and is on this 90 early speed, which is a little bit quicker than the par early speed. So we might think, hey, I believe that perhaps if I looked at the second race as being predictive for the ninth race, I might want to bet on number three to win the race if that horse, of course, looks nice physically out there on the track and in the warm-ups and all that, looks in good condition today. And then, of course, also, there may have been several people at Gulfstream Park yesterday that did exactly that, because number three here in the ninth race gets pounded down from a morning line of 4-1, the second morning line choice. Odds 4-1, that horse gets pounded down to even money on the board before the race goes off. So anyone might want to take that into consideration also, and be able to put that particular wager together also based on the information that is right there in front of them. in the 15 minutes before post time, and of course, it's in front of them with at home horse player ability X ratings, also, no matter where they are, at home, at the beach, at the park, uh, wherever they may be, at the restaurant having lunch. Uh, that's what At Home Horse Player is all about, bringing you actual predictive information for betting on horse racing and making better betting decisions on horse racing. So I just wanted to point that out again, and of course, want to stop by athomehorseplayer.com, which is right here, and give you a look at the store where you can get all the information you want or need or want, having to do with At Home Horse Player Ability X ratings. And this, for the next few days, we're featuring our very special yearly dual subscription. Two tracks, the same money, Saratoga and Del Mar. And this is coming to a close, this particular special, because you get, with this subscription here, you get the entire summer meeting. And that's not monthly, and there was a limited 100 in the first place offered. And I see there are 32 still left to go. So you might want to get in on that, because you get both meetings, both tracks, all summer long, opening day to closing day. And you also get a copy of Winning the Pick 3 and Horse Racing Understanding It 2. And on that ad, which this is results from the Breeders' Cup, I show this same thing, the predictiveness of Ability X ratings, how an earlier race can predict the results of that later race. And I refer to that as the Deja-Vue of horse racing. And on that product page also, you'll see a pick 3 from Del Mar last summer, August 18th, 2018, where we see the same thing again. Number 8 wins that 7 furlong dirt distance. The only horse in the 150s for that run rating. The par is 150.90. Number 8, the Ability X ratings key horse, pays $33 to win, 15.5 to 1. And also, number 3 tops out a pick 3, simple pick in the first race, simple pick in the seventh, or the second race, number 7, simple pick, and the key horse in the third race, topping out a $2 pick 3, $2,686.20. So, just so happens that it's the same old predictive rating for that 7 furlong distance also. So I wanted to point that out. And then, of course, the other news is, if you have a qualifying place of business, newsstand, hotel, convenience store, sports bar, restaurant, etc., you also get unlimited distribution resale rights. You get another stream of income, and your customers can win by knowing what ability usually wins. So that's a great opportunity for smaller local businesses in the Saratoga San Diego areas and anywhere else in the country, really, because it's all about at-home horse player. So people can bet and make better betting decisions on those races, no matter where they live, with at-home horse player and Ability X ratings. So that's what it's about, and I thank you for tuning in for a couple minutes today, and hopefully you can take advantage of our special dual subscription for Saratoga and Del Mar all summer long. Uh, 32, 32 left, I believe. And let's take another look at that. Yeah, 32 left in stock. So uh, hopefully you can snag one of those and get the best deal of Saratoga and Del Mar for 2019. Thank you very much.